either. I swear to God, if next episode when it comes back, if he says one, I'm quitting the show. If he says it one more time about how they're not supposed to do this right after this happens, I'm done with the show.
Well, it sounds like if he keeps on this track, he'll be next, right? I mean, when they grow just like this, then that's pretty much the end of him.
Not after what they've done. Not after what they've done again.
Yeah.
No.
So crucial time.
Yeah.
So anyway, Daryl and the others approach. Again, this is where we see the final scene with Dwight, and this again, this really aggravates me. And they try to figure out what happened. And he says that Eugene is the one who orchestrated the Savior's escape. It doesn't exactly say how.
Nope.
But he conveys the information. And again, this way they scoop up Dwight and they go on their way. And he takes his vest. So that's the final Dwight scene.
Yeah.
There.
All this is happening. Your main thing is to take the vest back.
Maggie and the members going to get to bury Neil. She puts the dead Savior in the box, like we just said. Right. So we have 38 more, etc. And she says, leave the box where the Saviors can find it. Ezekiel's at the mercy of the Saviors as Morgan lurks outside. So he made his way back unscathed to the hilltop. So all the other lookouts are slaughtered. Right. He made it out. So
no blood on him.
Nothing. He's clean as a whistle. Okay. And he can listen to what's happening. He knows that the king is being held prisoner and being beaten and whatever. He can hear it all. Then we see Tara, Rosita, and the others head into the sewer. Dwight apologizes to Michonne. Michonne chooses not to go with them and walks back toward the burning town. I don't know exactly, but she does cover the thing and lets them all go except for her. Like, she goes back. And again, I guess she's going back for Rick. I suppose, right?
I guess so, yeah.
But it wasn't really clear. I guess that's the only motivation I can see her going back to the town if everyone else is safe in the sewers.
I would have liked, though, if Michonne had looked at Daryl. Daryl was in the scene, right?
Yeah, I think it's just Dwight.
I would have liked if she had walked up to Daryl and saw the vest and said, was it worth it?
Yes.
Just something. Like, just that little thing of, was all this bullshit worth it? Because this is what we got now. You got your dignity back. If this is what it was to get your dignity back, you got it, but now look where we are. Like something. We never get any of that.
So Rick enters Alexandria looking for his family just in time. In his house, he finds Negan, and the two get into a fight. Now, again, there's a lot of saviors around, so somehow Rick has his ninja skills. He makes his way to his own home, but Negan's waiting there. And this is again, a problem with the scene too. Negan tries to hit him with Lucille, but Rick manages to escape multiple blows. Negan tells Rick he's going to fix Carl, make him, he says, your son tried to sacrifice himself. I'm going to fix him.
Why did Rick lose power all of a sudden?
Well, see, this is the problem. Negan basically manhandles him. I mean, he just throws him against the wall. He gets him down for a minute, and then actually Rick grabs Lucille, but doesn't use the fat end on him. Uses like the skinny end on him. You know?
Yeah, that I had
no sense.
Like he would have
bashed his brains
out.
out.
He had him over a barrel. He would have swung that around right in the head. Like, that made no sense.
Again, with why do people's skill set diminish at different times of the show?
See, this is the point I'm talking about. My friends only hear it from them. Why did Negan beat the crap out of Rick? Like, Rick's supposed to be the hero. Like, he's supposed to be at least equal to Negan, right? I mean,
I can get that.
Strength-wise.
I mean, think about it. He was locked up in that trailer for how long?
All right.
So he hydrated.
All right.
I didn't have a problem with the fact that he didn't just make mincemeat out of Negan hand to hand. It was when he got the bat. Like,
he had it.
Literally just boom, swing that thing around and done.
And Negan's like, don't you touch Lucille or something. Meanwhile, he gave Lucille to him a whole episode ago.
Like, I'd have been, like, all he had to do, if you didn't want to have Negan get hurt too bad, just have it where he gets the bat, he gets ready to slam it down on him. Negan just goes in a ball. So he's only able to kind of like hit the arm or the side. So then he's hurt. At least he's hurt, and then they can really kind of go at it a little bit more. And then the Savior comes in. Right. And then the Savior comes in, and then Rick has to decide: do you try to fight another person, or do you jump out the window so that you can try to find out?
Negan threw him out the window, though. He actually threw Rick out the window.
And
that brought me back to when he was fighting a porch dick. Remember that same thing? The porch dick manhandled Rick and threw him out the window too. It's like
I said, this is the thing I absolutely show quite a bit is when they diminish the skill set of the person because they want something to happen.
Right. Well, they should have choreographed it to where it didn't give Rick a clear open to end this whole thing because Rick has made it clear he is going to kill Negan, and then this all stops. Rick is not like Negan. Negan needs a show. Negan wants Maggie, Ezekiel, and Rick all lined up so he can execute them all at the same time, make a display to show to the rest who's in charge, and he's to be feared. Rick just wants this all to stop, and he doesn't need an audience. He doesn't need a show. Like, Rick could have easily drug him out by the leg, with a skull bashing in and said, it's done.
It's over. It's over. This is done.
I would have thought that was cool. I was hoping for some sort of closure on that, in some aspect on this all-out war. I mean, this whole half a season has just been like logistics, running around back and forth. I was hoping for some sort of, maybe not for it to be over, or for one of them to die or whatever, but at least give me some sort of,
a Cold War, like to get to a point of a Cold War.
Just some sort of resolution.
So I remember again talking to my friends that watched the show. They were so pissed off back when the governor, was fighting Rick, and he almost killed Rick. Like, he was choking him out. And Rick was basically one heartbeat away from death when Michonne came and impaled the governor. Like, so he didn't handle, right. So he couldn't handle the governor. He couldn't handle Negan. It's like he can't do it without his people around him. And it's like people are like, come on, man, Rick's supposed to be the man, right? He's the dude. Like,
because it's like
why is he getting manhandled by these people? You know, it makes
he can fight four guys. Like he can fight four guys in that same episode, but then he gets to the bad. It's like a video game. He gets to the bad, the boss.
Yeah, his power meter is less. Yeah,
power meter goes down, and he can't fight, and he makes bad decisions. Like, there's no reason why he should have hit him with the other side of it.
That was stupid. And he's like, don't you touch Lucille? He said he growled something, right? That's what Negan said. I don't know.
Well, he said like he named him after a wife or something. The way that he responded.
Right. We don't know that yet, but we're not supposed to know that yet. That's probably what it's fills your head, right? So that's what it is. But all right. So anyway, Rick's out the window now. Negan gets up. He's all pissed. Like, he wanted to deal with Rick right then and there, but he's out the window. Michonne walks through Alexandria, cutting down walkers, and she passes them. A Savior grabs her, but she quickly dispatches him. That was actually a pretty cool kill. Just
I like that.
Did that eyeball.
That rage.
And then she cuts him up. And she was like, I mean, they couldn't show us that. Like, let me see her cutting this guy's guts out. Like, give me a little gore here. I can use a little bit. You know.
At least she kept her skills. At least she kept her skills.
Right. Exactly.
Do that with her. Like when she had a hard time fighting. Remember the?
Well, she was hurt. She was banged up again. But it's like,
I know, but this is mother effing Michonne. I ain't got time to be hurt. I ain't got time to be hurt. Okay? This is the group. This is the group.
So Rick finds her, stops her. She takes him to the sewer where everyone's hiding. Judith and Carl are both safe in there with everyone else from Alexandria, and they still have candles. It's real nice. Like a kind of romantic setting. They have candles. It's a little weapon. It's okay. A montage shows all the major characters thinking about what's next.
Daryl has just got his head down. Daryl's just like
he's just defeated. Dwight is seen in the sewer with the people of Alexandria, and Rick notices him, doesn't really do anything. Carol is leading the kingdom's people to safety, while Ezekiel is sitting inside the gate. So we see these are close headshots to bookend the show. Right. Morgan is still just outside. We see his face as well. Rick makes his way through the sewer towards his family when he sees Sadiq, which is the one he shot at, and Carl tells Rick he brought the guy in with them. He's like, I got this guy. Now, again, I don't know why this guy Sadiq is so important. Like, they've recruited people over the years into the prison, right? They ask the questions, how many have you killed? It's like,
I feel dumb because I thought Sadiq was the one who knew about all this underground stuff, and I thought that was what.
So is that what it is? I thought Carl knew about the sewers though.
You know what? I feel like an idiot because I'm sitting there going, what was the big effing deal with this dude? And I thought, okay, maybe they're gonna make it that because of Carl's kindness, this dude was able to help
Alexandria.
him find just help him get these people underground.
But hold on. We know about the sewers because don't you remember this episode where Maggie was trying to get out through the sewers?
You know what? I think
they used it with
Aaron, right? Maggie and Aaron went through there.
Why I'm dumb? Because it's me trying to make it feel like it matters. I'm trying to make it feel like because to be real, it doesn't make any sense why this dude should be important. Like what was the big deal with this guy?
I don't know. So Carl then reveals a bite on his torso, and Michonne drops to her knees. Rick and Carl look at one another, completely lost. Carl's infected, and you can see at this point he's really sweating. Like his shirt is very wet from perspiration. He's got that fever going, and there's nothing else anyone can do. But
why? Like Daryl doesn't even. When he looks at Daryl, I would have at least liked Daryl to be like, I'm sorry. Like
Daryl just passed him by. Like he didn't even he's on the other side of the city. Like, he was like,
I'm not used to Daryl just having a look of shame. Like even when Daryl f's up, he owns his f ups. Like that's Daryl's thing. He owns it. I just can't see Daryl just sitting in the corner looking down and going, just being sad. I see him almost fighting to go back up there because it's my fault. Like I'll try to kill every one of them if I can because this is all my fault. Like this Daryl being docile, this ain't. I know they wanted to.
You want a line in there to say, hey man, I screwed up.
This goes against his character. Like this goes totally against his character.
Every character is supposed to be a badass. Rick, Michonne, Daryl weren't, and then the most badass character in this whole episode was Maggie.
Yeah,
right. She was like the only one who like lived up to her badassitude, as it were.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just weird. Like that's not his character in all the seasons we've seen him in. Right. You would have had to have taken a rock and hit him on the head and dragged him underground.
Right. He'd be fighting there to the death.
It's the same mother effer that fought a tank with a bow.
He beat a tank.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he killed the tank.
So
that's the end of the episode. Before we get to our final Buster ratings for 2017, a quick word from our sponsor. Jim, would you do the honors?
Well, as disappointed as we seem to be with this episode, we are certainly not in any way disappointed with our sponsor.
Never.
DCBService.com. My friends, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, whatever you celebrate, is looming very quickly.
My poll was up. My Festivus poll was up, by the way.
Oh, I love my Festivus. I love it.
I don't want to hear about your Festivus poll. It's a semi-family show, all right?
It's how you celebrate the holiday. That's all I'm saying, all right?
You're doing the privacy of your own home is okay, though. DCB Service has you covered for all your geeky needs. Are you into graphic novels and comic books? By all means, you need to go to DCB Service because not only are they great people to work with, they also have all your comic and graphic novel needs covered at a great price. Usually cheaper than Amazon, 30, 40, sometimes 50, 60%, depending on what you're looking at. Looking for. And not only comics and graphic novels, they have statues, they have action figures, hoodies, t-shirts, toys, collectible card games, all this any kind of geeky stuff under the sun. Anything for your Walking Dead fan. Something I got for some people last year for Christmas, which you can still order from DCB Service, is the Walking Dead coloring book. Adult coloring books have become a big thing, and I got this for a couple of people, and they're really tickled by it. I also included a green, blue, and purple crayon to kind of personalize, because it's really all you need, right? The red, green, never end. But all kinds of great stuff. They have all kinds of great stuff there. If you were a fan of the show Penny Dreadful, there's now a comic of Penny Dreadful. It is ended, but the story continues in the comic. You can, again, if you want to catch up on The Walking Dead, you can do so with compendiums, the hardcovers, the softcovers, issue by issue. Any of those ways, the DCB Service has you covered, and at a great price, and with great service. People who really care. Our good friend Russ Latham is a stickler when it comes to collectible grade stuff. When he pays money for something, he wants it to be pristine and no nicks and no cuts and nothing wrong.
Nerd.
No, he's very particular. He's very nice individual. He likes big books and he cannot lie. Okay. Anyway, DCB Service takes the care and the time to pack that stuff just the way that it'll get to you, just the way it left them. It'll be in a mint condition that you can appreciate and love if that's your thing, or you can just rip right in and read it if you want, whatever. But we have specials running all the time. Right now, Action Comics 1000. 80 Years of Superman hardcover is on the way. 50% off. You can get a DCB Service right now for $15. Everybody loves Superman, right? But that's just one of the many, many great deals. You can literally spend hours looking at their website and their sister site, InStockTrades.com, finding great gift ideas for the geeky people in your life, the Walking Dead fan in your life, the zombie fans in your life. Again, not just comics and graphic novels, but t-shirts and toys and games and everything else under the sun that in a geeky way, in a pop culture way. And again, the greatest prices you're going to find, 30, 40, 50% off. You don't have to wait for a flash sale on Amazon to get that gift for your geeky friend or your Walking Dead fan friend. No, ma'am or sir. You can get it right now at that big discount from DCB Service. Go check them out. They really do great stuff. They're great people to work with, and we are more than proud to have them as our sponsor. Again, it's a gift-giving time of season. It's a no-brainer. You want to get the cool stuff and you want to save the most cash, right? Go to DCB Service. You can't go wrong.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim, for covering that as well. All right, guys. So our Buster ratings, the last one for the year 2017. This is it, guys. The hour and a half season finale, mid-season finale, I should say. Starting with Russell. What do you got?
I'll give it 3.5. It was just kind of very middle of the road for me. I mean, I haven't been as down on the season overall as some people have. I mean, I've enjoyed the journey and I like where they are. It's just some of the individual choices that just have me baffled. I mean, a lot of them we talked about this episode. Just some of the focus on the stylistic elements, like this whole, cinema verite, let's focus on people's faces and just stuff like that. It just seems incongruous to the fact that this is a story about zombies in a post-apocalyptic world. Like it just doesn't seem right with the story they're telling. But overall, I'm still enjoying the show. I still like to watch it. I still would rather it be on than not. I just wish they would, kind of think a little bit about some of these choices they make and, just kind of, and it's all in the scripting, just kind of like, just do some, have a heavier editing hand maybe is what they need.
Okay. Daryl.
This episode ain't getting a goddamn point for me. I don't give it none. It's 0. Like I give Gimple can kiss my ass. All that nonsense of patting himself on the back about this is what I did.
Yeah,
this is all. This is everyone should know. Like it's in the episode. I'm Mr. Smarty Pants. I'm a great director. I know what I'm doing. You know what? It gets nothing. Like I think that it got so much. I was so excited about this season. I was enjoying the season. I was pretty much involved. I was more than not rooting for the show.
Right.
And when they got to this mid-season finale, it just felt like they were just not caring about the details at all, and they just tried to sit on the. But we killed Carl though, so you should that should be your thing.
That's fan service, right? Yeah,
that's the fan service that we killed Carl though.
We killed Carl though, right?
Right. But you don't tell us.
Yeah, right.
We don't know how the plan failed. We don't know how Negan got to the point where they were able to get back their momentum. We don't get any characters are acting not like themselves at all, with no reason given for why they're not acting like themselves. I just can't give this thing a point. I just can't. Like it's too much missing from the episode. It feels incomplete, even though it was an hour and a half. It just felt incomplete. Take out all those goddamn face close-ups that they kept doing with the sad music, and there was so much they could have done with this episode, and they just didn't do it. So I'm out. I'm out with that.
It's a 0 busters.
It's a 0 busters for me.
Okay. Jim.
This could have been a 5-buster show with everything that happened in it. If I were to tell you, they blew up half Alexandria, Carl's dead, and Negan's taking over, and all this stuff, it could have been a 5 out of 5. But because of and Russell hits it on the head, the scripting. But not only that, Russ, the lighting, the direction, the time jumps, the editing. I mean, technically, this episode is a mess, and it really took me out of what should have been, moments of big gravitas. I mean, they've been in Alexandria now for 3 seasons, for a long time. That should have meant something. Carl's death, that should have meant something. That should have haunted me. That should have really had a lot of weight to it, and it didn't, because I was like, I can't see anything. What's happening? What is over there? You know what I mean? It just really was like tripping over its own shoelaces. I have to give this one a 2, and that's probably the lowest I've ever given a season finale. I'd have to go back and look, but I mean, it could have been. I mean, the potential that was wasted here is what really makes me the maddest. And if I never see the junk people again, I'll be happy.
Something tells me that we're going to see him again, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'll read mine, and Jim, you don't mind reading Aaron's after I do mine, right?
No,
okay. Right. And we haven't forgotten, folks. We have a hashtag Red Machete finale to talk about, but I'll save it for Aaron's riveting review read by Jim Dietz in just a moment. So we haven't forgotten about that. My Buster rating. 2.5. I like some of the explosions, some of the big stuff, like seeing Alexandria burn to the ground. Like I said, for some reason, the town that's set never really connected with me. I'm kind of glad that we're done with it, at least as far as I can tell, at least as far as our characters are concerned. We've already outlined all the technical problems with this episode, and if I could sum it up, just from my perspective, they're getting a little too artsy, and I guess maybe that's a simple way of putting it, but they got to stop that stuff. Like the scripts could have been really good, but these flashbacks and forwards and backwards and ups and downs and the close-ups. It's too much. You can sprinkle that in a little bit. Like if you remember, just a few seasons ago, they tried it for the first time in season 5, episode 1, where they said then and then now. They had that. They played with some time jumping, and they should have left it alone, maybe just for certain episodes. But they're doing it much too often now. And it's making it very confusing for the week-to-week watcher. I'll rewatch this binging style. And I'm sure it may make more sense because you don't wait weeks in between each episode. It may feel more connected to me. But the way it's presented now, it's too confusing, and I don't like it. You're right. All the emotional moments have been kind of diluted with these technical problems that we had. So then again, some good stuff, some good Rick scenes, except him getting his ass kicked by Negan. I had a problem with good Negan scenes. I mean, he was definitely in full Negan mode with the bullhorn and his little. I mean, some good stuff. Simon had some good things. Maggie shooting one of them was great. That was I didn't think she had it in her, but she did it. That was pretty good. So they had some good stuff. I wouldn't exactly give it a 0. I would say a 2.5. Is kind of where this episode landed. And again, we do expect more. It doesn't have to be a major death, but we do expect more from a mid-season finale, right? We have to chew on this episode until February, right? And we're supposed to be thinking, like you said, oh my God, Carl's dead. What's gonna happen with Carl? But anyone's thinking that right now. No one's like, we're just also confused about what's going on. Like his death is still just like a question mark. We don't even know. We don't know where he got bitten. I mean, you have to go back 3 episodes to see where he got bitten.
Evidently, we're supposed to know.
And that bothered me because it's like they played that game with Bob Stuckey, right? Tainted Meat, remember that, right? Where he got bit within a minute. So we've seen that before too. Well, I don't know what they're doing. He's a major character. Like I said, T-Dog's death had more impact. Like Tyree's dying had more impact. It was sudden. They just got bit suddenly. Like you didn't expect it. Like, oh my God, that's crazy. Is he gonna make it? Is he not gonna make it? Like you don't expect it. This is just so nuanced. It's like, oh, okay. And he had time to write a letter, and okay, and he's not gonna see his girlfriend again. All right. It's they gotta stop this. They get back to basics. Is my advice to Mr. Gimple.
Can we? So after we finish, we do the viewer bus ratings, do Aaron's thing. Can we circle back around onto Carl's death at the end?
Sure.
Because I have some thoughts on that. And there's been some controversy. So I'm curious what you guys think about that. Sure. But I don't want to disrupt the flow.
No problem. We'll circle right around when I get to the final thoughts. We'll pick it up right there. So that's my rating. Jim, would you mind reading Aaron's written review and then also the I can't wait to talk about hashtag Red Machete. So Jim, take it away.
Yeah. Well, this is Aaron is off being the object of my jealousy right now because he's watching Star Wars: Last Jedi and I cannot.
Not only is he watching it, but it's where he's watching it.
Yes. Is he at the El Capitan? Where's he at?
Yeah, the Disney. Yeah, the Disney.
Yeah, the house, as Chubb said.
Right.
Yeah.
With his lovely and talented girlfriend too.
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was at Lucas' house.
No, Lucas isn't watching it, man. He's like, no, see his garbage. Everybody watching Walking Dead and watching this now. He's playing his Betamax tape of THX 1138 or whatever it is. That's what he's playing right now.
Watching his bootleg DVD of the Ewok Adventure.
Yeah, Luke would never do that.
He's watching the Holiday Special right now. So he's at Christmas time, right? Yeah.
And if Aaron wasn't such a nice guy, I would be extremely jealous. But yeah. So he wrote this for us. Hey guys, as I mentioned, I unfortunately could not take part in discussing the mid-season finale as Luke Skywalker needed my help. That said, I don't think I would much care to talk about such a boring, uneventful episode. First off, this may have been an extended episode, but since those extensions were made up of intense close-ups in slow motion, hey, somebody else said that too. They really made no difference except for ways to bore me. I'm sure you guys have already discussed the many poor decisions made, so let's get to the end, which unfortunately was spoiled for me. That said, does this show have an edge anymore? I mean, sure, Carl will die, but does it really matter when we know major characters will only die in the finale episodes? After a long stretch of people doing things that are either bad decisions or lacking any sort of tension, it leaves us with the supposed gut punch of Carl having been bitten, but I just didn't care. Explore these thoughts more in my written review, which by the way you can link to from our Facebook page at thewalkingdeadtvpodcast.com. He's writing that for WeLiveInEntertainment.com. But suffice to say, this is not the enjoyable show I've been used to. Oh, and surprisingly bad direction too. Lots of darkness, poor geography, and obviously real pacing problems. 2 busters. Okay, everybody get ready for the positive.
All right, this is the best part of the finale actually. This is coming up right here.
Let's see if I can do it justice. Sorry. On a much brighter note, the Walking Dead hashtag Red Machete presented by Taco Bell hashtag Live Moss has not lost its edge. This week's wonderful The Walking Dead hashtag Red Machete presented by Taco Bell hashtag Live Moss finale makes its most ambitious play yet and keeps focus entirely on a Walker with the red machete stuck in his chest. It's a fun bit that doesn't overstay its welcome and ends with a great twist. Joe from the Claimed crew just steps in and grabs the machete, yelling "claimed" for his victory. Perfect.
That was perfect. I loved it. I mean, just seeing him again was like the biggest smile on my face. Actually, seeing Joe, because I didn't realize that Rick got the red machete from Joe. I didn't know that's how he got it. So now it kind of makes sense. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Thank you, Jim, for reading that. That was awesome.
No problem. I'm expecting my case of volcano sauce any day now.
Yeah, you keep lava sauce. And don't get me started on that, man. I missed that lava sauce. That's a sin. That thing is gone. All right. Well, Aaron, thanks for writing that in, and I'm sure everyone was riveted by the hashtag Red Machete finale. I thought it was really cool. Joe was great. I wish they should have ended him. He really was. He could have been a cool character to keep on with, but
it was a nice callback.
It was a nice callback. They brought him back just for this. Yeah. It was pretty cool. I wonder, because I was always wondering how this Red Machete would end. Like, would you see Rick be the one, ending up in his hands? But no, you see it end up with the person before Rick. And we all know how Joe ended. So Rick got the machete.
I got a red machete. Machete with a red hand.
That's when he used to kill you. And that happened. And that's why they met the claimers right before they went to Terminus. So it all kind of makes sense. There's continuity there.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. I love it. But who cares what we think?
I have to pay Russ $1 now because I said something.
Copyright.
It's copyrighted. So, but who cares what we have to say? We have an amazing Facebook group. You can join the group if you like. Go to facebook.com, do a search for The Walking Dead TV Podcast. You just hit join group, and you get to write in your very own Buster ratings if you choose to for The Walking Dead, or we call them Toby ratings for Fear the Walking Dead, the other show. And you get to have them read by the one and only Jim Dietz. So a lot of responses this week. Obviously, it was everyone kind of tuned in for this one, and it was pretty divisive. So Jim, if you want to take it away, and what do our listeners have to say about the final episode, how it's got to be?
Let me enjoy some liquid refreshment because everybody's settling in here.
Yes,
There are quite a lot of comments. Yes. It's brought to you by Bell's Winter White Ale this week. A new sponsor for the show.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
It is delicious. Brent Jones, and as you said, Greg, it is very divided among viewers. Brent Jones, 4.75. I'd give it 5 if it weren't for the commercial breaks being longer than the show segments out of 5. Oh, wow. Best episode in a while. I was on the edge of my seat and I knew who it was all along, even though there were moments I was concerned for others. Did Jerry live? Yes, Brent. Jerry lived.
We're not writing yet, so yes, Jerry's alive.
Right. There's no writing from Susan Monk either. So. DeRay Irvin, 5. I guess Chandler Rings wants to go to college out of 5. Great episode. I was mostly concerned for Jerry's safety. Sad to see Quarrel go, but his acting was subpar at best. However, after watching the episode a second time, knowing Carl was already bit from helping Sadiq get to Alexandria makes a lot of those scenes more powerful. Can't wait for the return, and I'll miss listening to the podcast every week. Oh, we'll miss you too until February.
Yeah, DeRay, we'll miss you too.
We'll be here though. P.S. I was thoroughly impressed with #Red Machete brought to you by Taco Bell. #Live Moss. Claimed.
That's right. That is awesome. Awesome.
As were we all. Charlie Messing, 3 busters for me. Hate to be negative on a show I love, but I had a hard time getting into the show, and it was the commercial breaks. See, this is something I heard from someone else who watches the show fairly regularly too. I normally don't complain about commercials, but it seemed like each break was just as long as each segment. And while Chandler just needed acting classes, didn't really need to kill him off. I'm crying to sleep nothing the first time we heard Rick scream for Coral. All joking aside, I like Carl Chandler, and I'm shocked he was killed. Michelle Yvette Peoples, 4.75. I'm going to copy Brent Jones out of 5. It was a great episode that had way too many commercials, but given how uneven the first half of the season has been, it was a really good episode, surprisingly tense. I'm not sure I'm on board with trying to redeem Eugene. It might be a bit hard to get the Oceanside people to help out now, you think? Maggie needed to take out more saviors. Do not hurt Jerry and Ezekiel. Even Red Machete, #Live Moss brought to you by Taco Bell was good. Tonight, nice to Jeff Cobra, a.k.a. Joe from the Claimers. And Carl, you were turning into the kind of leader your dad could learn from. I haven't always been Team Carl, but I have been the last 2 seasons. I'm truly sorry to see him go. I'm curious where they will go now. This is a fairly big departure from the comics. Many thanks, as always, to all of you for the awesome podcast. Happy holidays, and to all, and see you in February. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
Super nice. Susan Monk, 4. Orders off the menu out of 5. This was actually a good episode. There were some problems with the editing, though. They had problems being clear when doing time jumps this half season. Except for the premiere, they look just like continuity mistakes instead of flashbacks. I'm thrilled that Jerry is still alive, hoping they can keep the story going without Carl. Oh, yeah, so yeah, they still had me for another episode or 2. Sarcasm. It was fascinating to learn that deep down the saviors are really nice guys. Unfortunately, they were forced into being dicks. Sarcasm. Mike Jones, 4.75. Fire sales out of 5. I did not want to see Carl die, and his demise kept this from being a perfect episode for me. This is the best episode of the season. It shows what the saviors should have been all along. Let's hope Negan gets to Judith before season's end, or we will be enduring her for 8 more seasons. To which Jerry Irvin asked, man, why do you want to kill the baby so badly? And Mike Jones said, there's no room for babies in the zombie apocalypse. Johnny Storr, 1 out of Jump the Shark out of 5. We didn't witness the death of Carl, we witnessed the death of Scott Gimple.
Oh, nice.
I wish.
Oh, I need my blood pressure.
Sick bird.
Ooh, that was salt right there, boy.
They literally just ruined the show. As soon as they showed Carl all sweating writing letters, I knew he was going to die. The whole time since the beginning of the story has been Rick protecting the survival of Carl. How can they just deviate from that main plot point? Rick survived after all we've seen Carl's death. I simply can't believe. Kirkman has no say in the show anymore. Really, I've been looking up and researching his involvement in the show. Since he's part of the people suing AMC, he doesn't have a say in the show anymore. Remember when Andrea was killed off? She was contracted to be on the show up till season 8, but then Glenn Massar killed her off. Kirkman's Riffit, and that's how we got Scott Gimple. Give the show to Nicotero. At least he understands horror, and the characters it seems better, as his episodes are usually the better ones of the season. I can't argue with that. Where's Rick's broken arm, since he clearly got hit hard by Negan using Lucille? Jesus help us all. I'm not talking about the Jesus on the show. Janet Broom, 3.75. Of course the trash people aren't going to stay around when your plan is falling apart out of 5. Really glad Jerry lived. I was ready to riot. Not surprised by Carl after his talk with Rick near the beginning, taking off for the weird close-ups again. And even though I understand the reason for Rick and Carl's talk, it feels like another repeat of the Jesus arguments. I'm also annoyed with how far they are having Jesus go with the we shouldn't kill it, it's a war. Plus, how did they know where to ambush the group from Hilltop? Everyone else they caught at their place, but that group they laid a trap on the road. Carl Hooker, 4.5. Man, that's a lot of explosions out of 5. Best episode of the season, since I can only watch on demand. I didn't have the commercial breaks to ruin it for me, although apparently I missed a really good mini Live Moss segment. Yeah, you did. Is he really dead? What if Dr. Carson has a cure? I say he goes out killing Negan for his old man. Do you ever shut up? Was the best line of the show. Tarek Awar, I'm giving 5 tender moments ruined out of 5. This episode brought so much emotion out of me. The whole shots of everyone's face was just a reminder of, damn, there are a lot of characters now. Long but necessary for what the characters are thinking, and with that brings a whole lot of side plots. At least I'm invested in them, just knowing at any moment the saviors will strike. The garbage pail people are the only thing of the season I didn't like. Totally agreed, Tarek. No sign. Never liked the characters, just want them to die at this point, and that big death, even knowing it was coming, which is tragic. Now it's crazy to think of where the story goes from here. What a bunch of crazy that came from this episode. Michael Santana, 3. I just can't quit you, Walking Dead, out of 5. I was so hoping that Maggie smoked Gregory with that shot. I'm right there with you, Michael. Nope, it was random savior number 3.
That's
and
right.
then in the car, who did Simon waste? Would have been powerful if he waxed at least a female knight from the kingdom, knew that he wasn't killing Jesus or Maggie. Nope, random Hilltop Road number 6. The extra commercial stuff in there were killing me as well. But all that extra money is going to go right back into the show, right? Nope. Those new yachts for the AMC executives will be sweet, though, I swear. The show is doing everything it can to get me to quit. I'm just so bummed that I can't. I vowed I would ride it out no matter how far it slips. Oh well. Adios, Carlito. Chandler Riggs. Thanks for all your hard work. Study hard, bro. Cheryl Moore's Goodman, 2.0 overdramatic face close-ups out of 5. See, I wasn't the only one. I don't get it. I wanted to review this after the first 20 minutes because I suspected my thoughts wouldn't change about the cataclysm that was this episode, and it didn't. So we can safely assume that the flash forward was a dream, or perhaps the Carl we saw in the hallway jovially talking to Rick is actually a zombie pet they've tamed using gallons of pudding. Nice callback, Cheryl. Having seen the next half preview, more savior fighting. Dear God, we have miles to go before we sleep. Mary Turkecchia, 4 very generous busters for this one. Show of hands. Who knew Carl was dying after the first 5 minutes? My hand is up. Honestly, I'm just happy that I stayed awake for this episode. I slept through 2 of them and didn't feel the need to go back and watch them. Let's talk about the good. Even though I suspected Carl was going to die due to his helpful speech to Rick, I didn't think he was bit from a previous episode in a show that doesn't really surprise me. That did. Yeah, I didn't either. I got a chuckle out of Eugene dropping the keys to a conveniently parked car. About time Maggie killed one of the saviors. Yay, Jerry lives. For the bat. It was so dark I had a hard time figuring out what was going on. Did we see what Maggie wrote on the box? Yeah, we did, but I had to see a photo of it really to kind of suss that out. I almost forgot about Oceanside. I hate to trash people. Hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season.
Oh, you too, Mary. Thanks.
Karen Shee wrote, what a sloppy, underwhelming episode, even more so because it's the mid-season finale. Who directed it? My viewing party kept getting disoriented on who was where, what the actual plan was, and how the Saviors got out of the sanctuary beyond an offhanded, Eugene did it. As a huge fan of the comics, taking out Carl obsessed me because that character has so much great material to act out. I also didn't feel anything when he revealed his bite. Seemed like such a gimmick. Blah. Luke Smith wrote, as a spoiler alert, maybe he was bitten by a whisperer. Yeah, let's get a little ahead of ourselves, I think. Richard Chopper, Cherry Charrington, 4.5, no more Rick shouting Coral out of 5. Again, I really enjoyed the last half of the season, or this half of the season. I'm looking forward to February. I just want to wish all the podcasters and listeners a very Merry Christmas and all the best for 2018. Also, thank you to all you guys for the hard work that goes into the podcast. I'm training for next year's London Marathon, so I listen on the following Sunday when I do a 2-hour run. You all keep me entertained the whole way. See you guys in February.
Thanks, Richard. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, Brad Milo, one of their founders, has sounded off in our Facebook group.
When we hear from Brad, we know it's going to be a stinger, right? I mean, sorry, what do you have to write?
The whole season gets 0 busters from me. He's not a man who shy of his opinions in any way.
He's a founder of the show, folks. He's
totally
one of the founders, yes.
He definitely is.
In fact, you still hear his voice over every show. That's him. Like, that's his voice when, was it the opening sound effects.
He was the one that dubbed it Busters.
Yes, he created the Busters.
He created the Busters. Yeah, so
no, Bill does the voiceover.
Right, Bill does
Brad? Oh, that was Brad. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, pardon me.
Bill. Season 8 of The Walking Dead is by far the absolute worst season of the show yet. Not because of the story, but the way it's being told. Please, Scott Gimple, step aside and let someone else take the reins. Christine Bowman, like I said, he's never been shy about speaking his mind. That's one thing he said on. Christine Bowman, one major misstep out of 5. I was already coming into this episode with my arms crossed after the way the season has been going. Carl getting bitten was a jumping the shark moment for me. It felt like play for buzz and a grab for viewers, and I think Gimple is going to regret it. Watching Carl grow up was the most interesting plotline for me. Mediocre mid-season finale to a subpar half season. Rob Cook, 4 sewer rat Alexandrians out of 5. The episode was a bit all over the place this week, but had some good character moments. Maggie was brutal. Coral was the best leader they had for about 5 minutes before being killed off. I predict a long lingering death scene at the beginning of the second half of the season. A shame to see him go. Are we to expect the ocean signs just going to roll in to save the day now that our heroes are giving Grandma the bullet? I don't know. Clever writing to make us think Jerry got killed, but hold the rise, it was Neil. All in all, an average first half of the season. Looking forward to the second half. Cheers to the podcast team. Always enjoy listening to you guys. Enjoy the festive break and catch you in 2018. Not only 2 days till the midnight screening of Last Jedi.
That's right. Here. What's the Last Jedi? What is that? What is it again?
That's one of the small art films.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Listen, thanks, Rob. Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. Thanks a bunch. Adam Fatah, I will give it 3.5 out of 5 busters. I thought episode felt completely disjointed. I'm glad this is a mid-season finale because I need a break from The Walking Dead. Wow. And finally, Sarah Ann Howard, 2.5 out of 5 smoke bombs. I felt like much of this episode was exactly that. Smoke and mirrors meant to fill the hour. There were some really good bits. I always love seeing Stephen Ogg. Me too, man. Become one of my favorite actors on the show.
He's awesome.
And some frankly boring bits. Watching Carl wander around Alexandria throwing smoke bombs qualified, don't you think? And the garbage people, can we please drop them from the storyline? They suck. They add absolutely nothing to the story arc at this point. This season has been more about hype and close-ups than rather than actual character development. I'm a big Walking Dead fan, a long-time viewer. However, the last 2 seasons have been a big disappointment. This is a storyline that has so much potential, all-out war, people, and yet I'm bored. And the episodes are resorting to montages to express big emotions. Unless they do something fairly quick to turn this around in a hurry, I will have to stick to the comics for Walking Dead. And as I said, and as Craig said, you can please join the Walking Dead TV podcast Facebook group, and you too can sound off on how you feel about each episode. Plus, you can also read our newer, more in-depth reviews of each episode from WeLiveEntertainment.com. They are linked right there in the Facebook group, and it's a good place for discussion. We have some pretty funny memes. There was one here that I really enjoyed from Jeray. It's been showed a picture of Rick from season 1 and Rick from season 8, and asking, has Rick been wearing the same boxes this whole time?
Can you imagine? I mean, he's wearing the same boots. We know that, right? So
they look the same.
Man, he must be pretty ripe by now. I mean, that's a lot of sweat. That's a lot of years wearing the same underwear, man.
We also had a poll about who was dying in the mid-season finale.
Yes, Aaron started the poll.
Right, and Gabriel came in first with 19 votes. Carl came in second with 15. Mm-hmm. Eugene came in third. No one came in fourth, and my interest in the show came in 5th. So.
What about? I voted for Tobin. I was so surprised he didn't get it, but that was my vote. Yeah,
I voted Eugene.
Did you vote Eugene? Okay.
I think Daryl did too, right?
Who'd you vote, Daryl? Yeah, who'd you vote was going to die? Daryl? Is he?
I think I did vote Eugene.
You did?
Yeah,
I
see it.
Yeah, I did vote Eugene.
Eugene, so Eugene was gone. Okay.
Let me down.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. My interest a little bit. Got more than Morgan, Rick, Dwight. Okay.
A lot of people in my interest got voted more than that.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, if you enjoy the podcast, by all means, join the Facebook group as well.
Excellent. Jim, thank you. You deserve a swig of your white ale or whatever you're drinking over there. So On it. Excellent. Thank you very much for reading those. And that's it. So we get to take a little break between now and February. I'll wrap it up. Like I said, we'll go back to some final thoughts, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But any final thoughts, guys? I know you had something to say about Carl's death, Russ.
Yeah, I just keep going back to how unnecessary it felt. It didn't even feel to me like this was a death for the sake of shock value. I feel like, and the only thing I could come back to, so there's a couple things. One, so it's Daryl, it's Rick, and it's Carl and Carol at this point. That are the only 4 cast members that have been there from the beginning.
And right? Technically Morgan, but I mean, he left for a while.
Yeah, but
he
disappeared.
But
he was from episode 1 if we go back that far. I mean,
right. I mean, he hasn't consistently been on the show.
No, it's true.
So those 4 have been on. And I don't know what... I mean, do you guys think possibly it was like a contract thing? Like they're looking to turn the budget?
I think his father's bitching in the news. Did you see that?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up as well.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think they're going to time jump.
I think they're going to time jump. That's why his age will be a problem.
He's the only one they can't do anything about. Like if they time jump, you get Judith to be older. That whole dream crap.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Older.
Yeah, but even if they jump 5 years, like they can make Carl look 5 years older. Like that wouldn't.
Yeah, but TV people are lazy and they don't like to do that with kids. You know this. TV people are crazy. I really think that they thought we can't. It's not going to look genuine to age him. It's easier to just kill him off. They fight this war and then we jump it a couple of years maybe, and then we can add a whole bunch of new people.
Yep.
And kind of throw some new life into the show.
Morgan can bring the fear cast over, right? Right. By then, right?
It just seems. I don't know. I could
be wrong, but that's the one thing I thought that's what made me think is that they hate aging kids. They hate aging kids when they don't have to. When like keeping them at that age, because they just hired like
right.
You jump her, you just.
I guess because he's not a kid anymore. I guess I don't see that as being too big of a deal. They cut his hair. They kind of dress him a little different. They kind of make him a little gruffer. But I don't know. It just like some of the deaths I kind of understand either from a storytelling perspective or shock value or whatever. And this just seemed so like
illogical.
I felt like I should have felt more for it, and I didn't. And it's not because I'm not going to miss the character. It's I think just because of the way they handled it. It just was very flat to me. And then all of a sudden, like his father came out and basically excoriated Scott Gimple and AMC and said, hey, you fired my kid 2 weeks after his 18th birthday, and shortly after you said you had plans for him for the next 3 years. And so it's just like,
see, that's why it makes me think that
time jump.
That's the time jump. When we're getting into a rut, we just jump time. Like that fixes everything, because we can, like, there's other shows that did too. Like I like Blind Spot. They jumped it like 3 years. Because they wanted to like put all these new characters in it. They wanted to add all, like, they want to do, it's the cheap way, and the cheap kind of way to give a whole bunch of backstory to your characters that you already have without having to actually write those stories. So you can just have it that they've already been through a lot of stuff. Like you can have characters hook up that haven't even like shown any kind of a connection to each other before. You can add new characters that, have them hook up with some of our characters. You can start new storylines. You can have Judith, if you age her up enough, you could have her kind of be right. She could be writing her, like the thing to always have a kid writing a diary about life here in the new place, the new Alexandria. Kind of like you can have some of that. They can have new enemies come along that they haven't had before. That like that's the kind of cheats that they like to do when they feel like they don't know what to do next, and they want to get away from certain things on the show. Because having him dead having Carl taken out the picture. It really changes the dynamic of the show, especially in terms of the comic.
Well, and the other thing is, I'm worried that they're going to do is then we're just going to get the broken Rick that's just sullen and sad and introspective and just when he was like, I mean. Of all the criticisms of this half of the season, the one thing I've enjoyed is Rick losing that whole I'm going to sit around and cry or be sad.
He's got his mojo back. He's definitely in full Rick mode right now. He's awesome.
Yes, I mean, he's assertive. He has a plan. He's the leader. He's taking charge. I like this Rick. And to see him kind of sink back into it, it just feels like, okay, we've seen this before. Like he's done this a couple times now, and now we're going to see it again. And it just...
I think they're going to do the I got to live for Carl thing. I think they're going to do that. And I think that was part of the point of having Carl write in the book to keep going, like to writing that letter to his father. I think that note is going to tell his father to keep living, like to not stop living. Like we have to have a life after this. The same conversation he was having with Michonne when he thought that it was going to be him and Michonne that was going to die at the end of this. Rick really thinks he's going to die at the end of this. And I think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get a Rick who's going to be driven, and then his whole thing will be I'll live for Carl. That'll kind of be his mantra.
His rally cry.
His rally cry is to live for Carl. And I think moving forward, I think next season a lot of stuff is going to be with Judith. I think they're gonna if they age her, if they go by
if they time jump her up,
I think they're going to like move forward with that. And I think a lot of it's going to be they're going to throw a lot of new characters. I think they're going to throw a lot of new characters in The Walking Dead to kind of infuse it with some life. And then we'll see from there what happens. I think that's what they're doing with Fear the Walking Dead. Like what they're thinking to do it. It's just that they're going to they're time jumping a little bit, and I think they're adding a bunch of characters, adding a bunch of new characters to it. So I kind of think that's what they're going to do with this. I just really think that they're in a rut of trying to figure out what to do next after this whole thing is over. This whole war thing is over.
Yeah, I think the other problem is too they're too committed to Negan. Like they will never. I shouldn't say never. They are prolonging his demise. If it is demise,
I don't think he's going to die.
Again, I know what happens in the comics, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it. So
if you time jump in with that, you'd be like, the big surprise is why is Negan working with the group? Weren't they like that? That could be the oh my god, like why like showing Negan actually helping them or fighting with them or whatever, and you're like, how the f did that happen? Right? And you can kind of have like a backstory with that happen. And I mean, they love that. They love that actor.
That's what I'm trying to say. They're so committed to him. Like they think he's the answer to all their problems. Like they think he's infused everything. They spent the whole last season all about him. It's all about Negan. So they're just in love with him. And he's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. He's doing the job justice. He's no governor. I mean, he's definitely a lot more of a larger than life presence than he was.
But he ain't redeemable though. It's gonna be
tough, man. It's gonna be tough.
He's not redeemable.
So before I go on, I forgot to mention the director. One of the listeners asked that question in their Buster ratings. The director of this episode is Michael E. Satter-Amos, and it was written by David Leslie Johnson and Angela King. So and Satter-Amos, he directed several. He's directed actually episode 5 this season. He directed at least 6-7 episodes usually.
Now you know who to be mad at.
Yep.
Yeah. Whoever decided not to tell us that important detail, that's the one I'm mad at. Whoever did it, whoever it is.
There are a lot of things that should have been more clear.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so.
All right, guys. So going to bring it into this year, and it's been fun. We've been going continuous since Fear. We've been going nonstop for I didn't count the weeks, but I guess 14. I want to say because we had 8 weeks of this, and then they condensed 2 of the 8 episodes into like 6 weeks, right? So
I was defending my land for about 5 weeks.
It was Fear. So the Fear was like a 6-week thing, not an 8-week thing. So it was 6 plus 8 gives us 14 straight weeks of bringing you the Walking Dead TV podcast, and it's been fun. Like I said,
it don't feel like it's been that long.
No.
This half season's going really quick.
They do. So we get to take a little break. We get to rest our microphones for a little while. Some of us do. Some of us continue podcasting, I should say.
Yeah.
We don't stop. These microphones don't get a break at all. But
I'm
hoping Aaron and I can sneak in, and Jim and whoever else wants to join in, honestly, and do the Telltale. Like we've been talking about it for a while.
Sure.
But try and just get something on the feed and do a Telltale.
Honestly, some of those Telltale games are some of the best Walking Dead stories there are. They really are. They're so well done.
Yeah. So if you do it, I will start buying them to play them. If you want to, I'll jump in.
They're and they're cheap too. They don't cost much right now.
Yeah, they're cheap now.
So check those out. So I'm sure you'll hear from us before February when the show returns. We usually do something in the middle anyway, just to kind of get everyone back together and talk about some casting news or whatever else we hear out there. And if you want to do a Telltale special or even do a comic book comparison again, we can always go back to that. So spoiler, watch out for that if we do that. And that's it, guys. So what's that?
I was gonna say I got the Dead thing this week.
The Dead thing this week?
The closing.
You. So where can our listeners hear us when we're not talking The Walking Dead and we go on a little break? Russ, how about you? Where are you going to be found?
No, just same place you can find this podcast. HHWLD.com. It's the best place to find me.
Excellent. Great. Daryl?
You can go to TaylorNetworkPodcast.com. We have a feed on iTunes. It's Taylor Network, and it has all the podcasts that are on the network. And Jim is on a few of those, and Russ is on a few of those. And we have a good time with those. There's a variety of podcasts. So we cover everything: TV, movies, comics, interviews, all that kind of stuff. So you can check it all out there.
We may have to do a Star Wars one too, guys. If the movie's really, I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be amazing, but if you're not,
we've done one for every episode.
So we should do one. We should do one.
I'm all with it.
So stay tuned for that. Yeah, you want to do next Monday? Actually, that's not an idea.
Oh yeah, he's out of town.
Okay,
he's out of town.
We'll pick a day. We'll work it out, guys. We'll schedule that.
Just like you leaving on the weekend?
Leaving on Sunday.
Ooh.
We'll figure it out. We'll work out the logistics, and we'll get that. We also want to do together, meaning like us, the hosts that usually do Walking Dead podcast. I want to do the Star Trek Discovery recap as well. So they won't let me on your show, JK, because I'm just a hater. I can't. I can't expose him.
You're going to be on that right now. He has to have his professional presence.
Right. So I don't want to be bringing down his mojo. Like you being kicked off the set of Talking Dead, I'd be kicked off your. Go check yourself. Craig will cut you off. That's it. Don't worry.
Vulcan pinch you.
I need a Vulcan pinch, man. Seriously. Can she do that? Can Michael do that? Yeah, she could, right?
Yeah, she can. She did it.
She's like the only human that could do that, right? She's the only. Yeah.
I think someone else did it too.
Well, Data did it one time, right? We'll say this for the next show. Let's just say. So guys, if you're into Star Trek, we have a lot to say. I have a lot to say anyway. So stay tuned for that. The Star Wars podcast coming up between now and the Return of the Walking Dead. Jim, how about you?
You can catch me on Nothing's On the Taylor Network podcast and Heavy Games in Seaside City at goodpencil.com and at the Taylor Network podcast. And you can check out the DC TV podcast. We have all of our mid-season finales going on for The Flash and Supergirl and all those shows. Check us out there at hwlod.com.
Excellent.
You can follow me on Twitter at Yoda Jones.
At Yoda Jones. I am the host of the Auto Chat Show, so if you want to hear me review new cars with my co-host Teddy, autochatshow.com, facebook.com/autochatshow. This week, actually tomorrow, we are recording the Genesis G80. So a nice luxury bruiser cruiser from Korea. So check that out. Going to be a really good review on that. After that, we got the Lexus NX hybrid truck. So also, I should say truck, crossover truck, little baby one. And we got a couple others coming up. The Kia Niro after that, followed by, I believe, the Mazda CX-9. So those are our new car lineup in its entirety. So check those out one after the other, back to back. New car reviews, and we're not reviewing new cars. We got some guests on and discuss happenings in the automotive world. So check it out. We keep it a lot of fun. We keep it light as we do here as well, and just make it interesting to listen to. So to wrap it up, the last show of the season, Jim, you want to close this out? You said you had a closing.
When there's no more room in hell and the dead walk the earth, remember, it's time to go make some spaghetti.
Doesn't surprise me.